Model Man Tom, and I have got a round 2 model review for you. Alright, all you Captain America fans, here is another kit in the ComicScenes series from Polar Lights. This is a very fat box, stuffed with plastic. That one back here appears to be most of the main body. A bag of clear water splash for the ground. Looks like one bag of the background diorama scene. A piece of art for the background. Some standard round 2 merchandising. And another comic book direction set featuring the Red Skull as the bad guy. The instructions are pretty simple. Front of the body goes to back of the body, front of the arm goes to back of the arm, and so on. Same thing for the diorama. Let me lay the pieces out and we'll take a look at what we got going on. So we've got about 30 parts here, which is definitely a really solid amount to go on, and being a figure, they're all relatively easy. As I mentioned, front goes to back and all the pieces go where they go. Leg bone's connected to the hip bone kind of thing. Diorama itself is definitely pretty huge overall as far as the base goes, and it's very thick. There's some nice good shapes in the brickwork there. Name plaque with Captain America on it. The shield is pretty cool. I definitely like that. That's a good sized piece of plastic right there. Not a lot of detail on the back, but you probably wouldn't expect too much either way, since that's rarely going to be seen. The detail on the captain is pretty sharp overall. It looks like he's wearing some kind of scale mail. I had always figured it was some kind of chain or ring mail. One thing round 2 did was to add an additional face, your choice. One is the original from way back when, and the other one is a new one that they did. Trying to judge by modern manufacturing, I'd guess that I don't know, I can't guess which one is which. They both look good. Lots of good detail on the front. Everything is really sharp. The feet key into the diorama base, so you don't have to figure out where anything in particular goes. I like to leave clear parts in the bag when I can, so these water splashes are still there as well. As to accuracy, well, you know, I really couldn't say to that. Captain America has changed quite a lot over the years, even up into the movie that's coming out right now. So this kit is hitting the shelves anytime now in August, September 2011. This is definitely a nice one. It's going to go with the Spider-Man diorama really well, and I expect that Polar Lights will be releasing a few more of these as time goes by. A good model to keep your eye on if you're into figure kits, if you're into superhero kits, comic book fan, Marvel fan, or if you're just a Captain America fan. Really nice sculpting overall, and a box that's packed full with plastic. You can't beat that. So Captain America from the Polar Lights comic series. So thanks for watching as always. See ya. Hey everybody, Model Man here. If you watch my channel for a while, you know that I'm mostly into sci-fi. So when Polar Lights sent this Spider-Man along, it's not something I would have considered getting myself, but certainly a good-sized box here. The artwork is really nice, and it's definitely a full box as well. Really good piece of cardboard here with some really nice artwork. Very comic book style there. And speaking of comic books, you get a The instructions come in a comic book style rendering here, and there is an actual story bit right there. This is for the rest of the model. And it looks like just a few pieces of standard promotional literature from round 2. This is definitely fairly simple overall. There's probably maybe 24 pieces total, and looking at the photo of the assembled kit, I was wondering how they did the figure on the ground there, and of course, as you can see here, it's just one really big piece, which keeps things simple, really. The stairway here for Spider-Man to stand on, a little bit of a web as well. This is completely flat. If there had been some dimensionality to it, that definitely would have made it more interesting, but considering what it is, this is definitely what you might expect. As far as the accuracy goes of Spider-Man, well, 30 to 40 years, 50 years that Spider-Man has been around, even he doesn't look as accurate to himself 5 years ago, next year, or the year before, and whether it's the movies, the Electric Company, back when he was on that, comic books, it's always different. There's definitely some nice crisp molding going on, really good relief in the plastic. This looks like it'll be fairly easy to paint. There's a lot of raised surfaces here to help guide you. And being all in red, that certainly saves you one color if you just want to stick with painting the blue. And of course, if you're going to do the background diorama part, there will be a lot of painting in that. Whether you go comic book style or more realistic, either way, you got a lot of choice. Having this huge clear web back there, I don't want to pull that out of the bag. That's definitely a nice little touch, certainly. And yeah, I don't really know that there's all that much to say about this. If you're into comic books, if you're a big Spider-Man fan, I'm sure this is definitely one for you. I certainly have been over the years to some degree or another. For figure kits, they're not really my thing. They're a bit too static, and figures for me always, suggest motion. However, this pose is certainly a good one that is fairly dynamic. That you get a bit of a diorama and a story to go with the figure is definitely a nice thing as well. You don't see that too often. Usually it's just a figure in repose, basically, standing around being heroic looking. Here at least you get a nice little action scene to go with it. Comic book to describe the story behind it, and a few nice parts. I'm sure this is really great for any kids out there and any figure modelers who are more on the adult side of things, who definitely enjoy the old-time Spider-Man. There's not much I can do as far as doing a tape-up of this kit. I'd like to leave all the pieces on the sprue, but this is definitely a hefty size. It builds to almost a foot tall. The base itself, there's definitely a really good amount of space going on there, so this builds up into a really nice, hefty, volumetric piece. So if you're a Marvel fan, Spider-Man fan, or just a figure fan, this is definitely not a bad one. So thanks for watching as always. See ya.